Hey guys, you're watching the Best Damn Comic Show. I am Gian Perez. With me as always is Kat.
What the?
What's up, guys? Whitekanye the Great here. You guys ready to review the Joker movie? The new Joker movie. We're gonna review it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm Whitekanye. We're gonna review a movie today. I know you guys don't know me. It's fine. Come on, we're gonna go review it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So we're here today with Whitekanye the Great. He decided to rudely interrupt our show.
Rudely. Anytime I'm showing up to a show, it is an absolute honor for you guys to have me here. Hello, everybody. I'm Whitekanye the Great, and I'm here to review the Joker movie with these fine gentlemen here.
Why don't we start with your take on the movie?
Thought it was an amazing movie. It wasn't perfect, though. Like Batman versus Superman, that was perfect. Anyways, 9 out of 10 for me. Hey, shut your mouth, Marvel fanboy. He's a Marvel fanboy. I smell it.
I'm proud of it.
I smell it off of him. Listen, I'm a DC guy. I got a Superman tattoo on my chest. I'm an actual supervillain, all right? So my take is a little different than these guys. You know, these guys probably have read 10 billion times more comic books. They're actually experts. I'm not an expert. I'm a supervillain, all right? So the difference is when I saw the movie, it actually compelled me. It motivated me. The laughter, the storyline. Now we're gonna get into spoilers, I'm assuming, right? So I could say whatever. Okay, thank God. Most of it was in his head though, which, you know, a lot of things are in my head. I mean, I had to come up with this entire idea in my head, so I related to the character. Someone, you know, that's as crazy as I am would relate with someone crazy in the movie. But yes, I have a theory that the entire thing took place in the mental institution. What do you think?
I've heard that theory, and if that's the case, what's the point?
There is no point, and that's why it's not perfect. And that was my issue. That's why it wasn't a perfect.
Pat in the back.
This is a standalone film. It's a one-shot, and it doesn't lead to anything else.
Except today, Joaquin Phoenix did say that he was open for a sequel now, after thinking about it and seeing the success and the love. Now, I see him. That's probably some BS. I totally get that. But now that he said that, you can't deny, you know, that argument.
So let me translate that for you. So basically, at first, they didn't know how it was going to be perceived because it wasn't tied to Batman's. They see it was like, oh, yeah, we can sign your check now. Maybe we have a sec one. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, DC, I'll admit, I know why they're Marvel fanboys. The whole entire Marvel cinematic universe is close to perfect. I mean, it would be perfect if I...
sense.
It does. I'll admit that, you know, DC has its issues. Release the Snyder Cut. But the whole problem that I have is that Marvel really hasn't gone as gritty and as dark and as ballsy as a movie like this. So when the Joker comes out...
But they don't need to.
Well, here's the other thing. Kat's going to say it. I'm sorry if I steal your thunder, but
That's
you're telling me that the Joker isn't Joker.
All right, so let me educate you. So we all know since 19 whatever he was created, we've always everywhere you see it says the Joker. The Joker, it's always the Joker.
Okay.
This is just Joker.
Now, hold on, I have an issue with that. You said every single time
We
it's
know
the
him
Joker.
as the Joker.
You do know him as the Joker, but just because somebody calls him Joker doesn't mean that he's not Joker. If you look at the Dark Knight Part 2 of Batman, when they bring on Joker onto a talk show, they word for word say, now we have Joker, which this movie kind of resembles the acts that Joker in Dark Knight Part 2 partakes in on the talk show on this one. So there is a resemblance.
From the get-go, you hear it's not a superhero movie. It's a character study. It's a homage to Martin Scorsese and Taxi Driver. And
King of Comedy.
King of Comedy. When you're told that and he's telling you do not expect a Batman-related movie, then why the freaking blue balls of Neptune call it Joker? Unless you want to just put asses on the seats to make the money, and everybody else that went and saw it because they're sheep.
It's a marketing ploy. 100%. It's a marketing ploy.
It's also like if you have, I see the people coming out.
I don't want to see a villain movie. No insult. No insult. Mr. the Great, no insult. But still, Why?
Well, because that's the generation today. We want to see the villains. Why do you think I became? When I grew up, as a kid, I wanted to be a hero. But the only way that I could become a hero was to be the villain. And unfortunately, in this movie, the villain is almost heroized in the sense that you can kind of relate to him. Of course, he takes some really dark turns towards the end. But again, this is a struggling guy that has the worst luck with everything. We can relate to some of the points in it that... I'm just saying is that's what's popular. You asked why do people want to see a villain movie is because we can relate to it.
And that's a big issue I had with it because I've said it since we reviewed the very first trailer, like we reacted to it. Like the Joker's not supposed to be a sympathetic character.
No.
You're never supposed to have any sort
That guy's a murderous, freaking villainous, evil creature. Why are we glorifying this? But then again, as a society, you look in the streets and we glorify it. People run lights. Nobody pays attention to rules or anything. So yeah, we're glorifying evilness, basically.
I mean, that's kind of the way the world is right now. The world's a little bit shaken, and in this world, it's also shaken. But I want to hold on. I want to get back to the point of that you said it's not a Joker. It's not the Joker movie. Exactly. It's not about Batman. If that's true, why put in Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, and Bruce Wayne?
To give you that hope.
To
give you that
that's
hope.
The story.
I called it. I don't think the Waynes were a major part of the story at all. I think it was just window dressing so that the DC fanboys could say, yes, right there, it's a DC film. But they were so like not important to the story. And the story itself, which wasn't very good in the first place.
It is important because you said, why does it even matter if it's all in his head? Well, kind of that is the whole point, is that if this is the real Joker and he is in a mental institution, he plays out this whole thing, and he's the reason for Bruce Wayne's parents to be killed, and now they're interlocked, like how in the comic books and all the movies, Joker and Batman are always like this. So to him, when he looks at the lady at the end and says, you wouldn't get the joke, well, of course not, because she wouldn't understand that his sick, twisted view of them being together, now they always will, because in this universe, Batman's parents died because of the riots that Arthur Fleck, even though, again, I don't even think that that's Batman. Like, I'm kind of almost agreeing with Kat, like, this is all just a mental institution guy's head. But to me, the way I see it, if you take away what Martin Scorsese said, and the director, and everybody else, and you look at it as a Joker film, you kind of can see where maybe this is Joker, but a lot of this is either in the past, and it's all in his head, or some of it's in his head, and that's what's kind of fun to walk away from the movie and figure out.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I see that people that like actually enjoyed the film, everything they enjoyed about it has to do with the speculation that comes afterwards.
Exactly.
It's not the actual film itself, but it's like
could happen. That's what I'm saying. So
the movie makes you think.
It's like they maybe played it safe.
It's almost like looking for a justification to call it a DC film.
So maybe they played it safe. He didn't do a superhero movie, but he gave you enough that if there's backlash, they can go one off, or if it works, they can go, now the sequel. They can tie it into a Batman movie.
It is about making money. How much did Endgame make? I mean, it is about making money.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, when you say that argument, I get it.
It took 10 years to get to that number.
But the thing
as a supervillain, do you think you could pull this film off again with another supervillain? Do you think people want to see Lex Luthor's story?
No. I mean, here's the problem. Actually, that's funny that he said that, because I actually plan on being a big-time director in the movies. I want to be the next Zack Snyder, and one of the movies I want to make is Lex. But, no, I really do. I think that the whole villain, push. Remember how popular Heath Ledger's Joker was? Now, that was his performance that he earned to get all those people. But isn't it kind of ironic that is kind of the Joker character that inspires these people, and they rise up, and they don't care that he's a villain? In the comics, that's kind of what happened. So it's beautiful. Not beautiful. Well, I guess for me it's beautiful. For you guys, it's terrifying. But that is actually happening in a sense.
I also feel like the Joker in the comics is a master manipulator.
And he wasn't in this.
Right.
That was another complaint I did. I'll give you that. He didn't seem like the master manipulator genius. He was running into walls.
Everything he did was accidental.
Accidental, 100%. Yeah. But again, that's, I guess, the joke. What if he is a master manipulator and he's in the thing?
But that's the safe key.
Again,
the way they play it,
The people that are saying that it's the greatest movie ever made, don't watch a lot of movies.
No, they don't.
They have not watched a lot of movies.
I see it on my Instagram.
So it's the first.
Says
It's like,
I'm like, oh, okay.
I called this on my other review. I called this movie the Kendrick Lamar of superhero films because rappers are so shitty nowadays that somebody like Kendrick, who's halfway decent, come out and everybody like exalts him and throws him up in the holy trinity of rappers. Whereas
because everything else is
when everybody else was good,
right?
We might not be talking twice about it, and I definitely don't think we'd be talking about it if it wasn't.
Well,
Joker.
the time and place has to be right. Kind of like if you said, "Would anybody watch a villain movie?" We just proved it. They will.
Well,
they will.
because they took a name that everybody's familiar with. That's joined at the hip with Batman.
I am gonna give you got to give Warner Brothers this kind of credit.
They're ballsy.
Well, no, the marketing behind this film and all the controversy that followed it has turned this shit into a mega hit.
Yeah,
that it would probably they weren't even expecting that themselves.
Probably not.
I thought they were.
I mean, it beat Venom. It beat all these other low budget, films in their opening weekend. And for how low budget, I mean, that's no wonder they want to do a sequel and everything. It is about money. But as a fan that doesn't care about the money, and I just see this movie, I do a lot of reviews. I don't know if anybody knows, but Whitekanye TV is my also YouTube, and I do my reviews as well. And when I review a movie or a TV show, it's getting harder and harder because I'm wondering if the shows are getting shittier or if I'm just,
tainted.
Tainted in a sense, because literally I'm waiting to be moved. And in Joker, I didn't have chills. I didn't have tears. I can cry. I wear a mask. No one can fucking see. Sorry for the F-bomb. It's fine!
I see a tear.
Listen, it's fine because I wear a mask. But I didn't have that with Joker. And, I'm watching these shows, and I want to be moved. And, I went with my buddy, and he's my #1 fan from 2016. Got him a little pennant Hand of the King from Game of Thrones. He's rocking that, brings it with him every time we hang out. So we go. He loved it. He every time he's, looking over, he's all like, did you like it? Did you like it? I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's good. But it didn't move me. So I don't know if it's because the movies are getting worse or I think it's a little bit of both. So to me, could it have been better? Yes, but I still really enjoyed it. Kat, you told me the other day, I came in here on a Wednesday to pick up some new comic books as is tradition. And you brought up a really good point that you go to the movies to escape the toxicity of life. You get, you want to, go dumb for a minute.
I want to forget.
Exactly. But that's what happens when you get to a movie where you got to think about it. And that's why because I walked away from our conversation and thought to myself, but that's how I kind of forget, is to think about something like this for hours on end. And that's why so many people love a thinker of a movie like this. Honestly, guys, it's why we need Zack Snyder back. I stand outside of Warner Brothers every day with my Release the Snyder Cut poster. And they just look at me, they wave, and I just give them the bird.
Now, after the films come out and we've seen the box office and whatnot, for me, I think it's turning into... This was a Hail Mary play, an act of desperation by Warner Brothers.
And it worked. It did.
And it worked.
Thank God.
So,
let's see next week if it drops.
Well,
even if it drops, it's already a success.
Made almost twice its budget. Man.
Yeah. It's already a success.
It's made $96 million opening weekend here domestically, and it made 350 or almost 350 internationally. So it's made back the money. It's beyond profitable. It's horror movie profitable.
Yeah, and honestly, wow.
Yeah.
But I get where Kat's coming from. Is he's upset that they're basically using a beloved character for a movie that isn't that beloved character, and he's upset. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're upset that all these people are jumping on this bandwagon saying it's something that it's not. If you are a deep fan of the Joker, regardless of it,
if you're a deep fan of the Joker, you should have taste of ass in your mouth after this movie.
But you should see it. That is the thing. If you are a Joker fan, you have to go see it.
I think,
and then have your own opinion about it afterwards.
The Joker film is the episode of Seinfeld where everybody goes and sees the English Patient, and Elaine just doesn't get it, and she's like, "What's wrong with you people? Why?" That's what we have going on here.
Yeah.
But thanks. We really appreciate you coming in.
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
Giving us your input. Anything else you want to add to the end of this review?
Just the fact that I really hope Warner Brothers and DC gets their shit together. Because I'm tired of seeing so much Marvel success. I love Marvel, don't get me wrong. but I want it to be fair. I want it to be, you know, here's a great movie from Marvel and here's a great movie from DC. And this was a good movie. Like I said, I gave it a 9 out of 10, but it wasn't perfect. It definitely was not perfect. And again, I do think I'm a little tainted because I'm a reviewer myself. So if you're not a reviewer and you like Joker, go see it. You might like it. Check me out on Instagram and YouTube. Take it away, boys.
Now let's get into some picks of the week.
Let's do it.
All right, Kat, what do you got?
First, I want to do a shout out for last week because we didn't do one for last week, and it was Powers of 10, number 6. Amazing book. Amazing book. I read that book, I swear, 20 times Wednesday. I can't put the book down. It's this whole X-Men Hickman stuff has been amazing, but which translates to this week. I got a couple of DC titles. I got Batman 81 just because we finally get to see Batman versus Bane. It's been like a snoozer up to this point.
Right.
Outside of Alfred getting his neck snapped, I don't know why, but I know why. But I want to see. I'm curious. But the one book out of DC that I'm actually looking forward to reading is the Tales from the Dark Multiverse, the Nightfall #1. And it's a take on the Nightfall storyline where Azrael takes over, but then Batman, and this part, Batman never recovers. Azrael is I forget his name. They use he's some kind of Batman, but Bane's son looks like the son of Bane is the rescuer of Gotham. So sounds interesting.
Okay.
You know, it's Kyle Higgins doing it. I like Kyle Higgins. He hasn't let me down yet, so I'm willing to give that a shot. But when we move on to Marvel, we got Absolute Carnage #4.
Right.
After the end of #3 with Venom Hulk, I'm like, dude, I want to see. I'm looking for. It's been great series so far. Plus, you got a couple of the side books too. But the one that everybody's been asking is the Avengers one.
Right.
So there's an
that one drops this week.
That one drops this week too. So then I have Spider-Man #2 by J.J. Abrams. You know, that #1 was a great book. I don't really see why people are bitching about outside the fact that because of the name he got a shot. The book is good.
Okay.
The book is solid.
Well, it had to be.
No, it had to be, and it is.
Yeah.
It is solid. And then we got Donny Cates, man. And when I heard the announcement that he's taking over Thor.
Oh, that's right. New York Comic Con.
Dude, and he's doing Guardians of the Galaxy. You know he's planting some seeds of what he's going to do with Thor in this book because Beta Ray Bill is there, you know. So I'm looking forward to that. But the book of the week, man. X-Men #1.
X-Men #1 finally dropped. That's the one we've all been waiting for.
Hickman. We got the whole Summers clan. We got Cyclops, Havoc, Jean, Cable, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
The dad, what's his name? Corsair and Vulcan, the character, you know, the brother that Brubaker introduced. So, and then we got Wolverine in there. Right. I don't know. He's tied in somewhere or another.
Yeah, you can't.
Slim and Wolverine, they're always together. You know.
You can't omit Wolverine from a modern X-Men book at all.
So I'm looking forward to that. And I got 2 guilty pleasure books, man. It's like I'm loving these things. I'm loving all these the Asian books that they introduced.
Right.
All the you know, they're great, they're fun, and low print runs.
Right.
But there's Arrow's been there. I think there's another introduction of another character.
Is Arrow the book that's like translated from Chinese, like it was written by Chinese guys?
I think that's Swordmaster.
Okay, Swordmaster. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, but I think there's another.
Arrow's Greg Pak, right?
Yeah, I think there's another first appearance in there or some origin story. So it's been great. And then I like Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda, just because of the characters they have in there. Is like, dude, Kazar, that's so freaking cool. It's just like, again, guilty pleasure read, you know.
As for variants this week, I got 4 of them for you. I got Absolute Carnage #4, got the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant. You guys know if you watch the show, I never pick these action figure variants, but I just love it. It's just so cool.
Venom
and Hulk together. That's an action figure I'm gonna buy if Marvel Legends
exactly
puts it
right.
out. Yeah. And then I don't know what the cover looks like. You don't know what the cover looks like, but there's a Mike Deodato classified cover. Those are usually pretty cool, and it's Mike Deodato as well.
Exactly.
So
just, you know what? It's classified. Take it. You know.
And it's open order, right?
It's open order, but it's one of those things like, okay, without a cover image, it is Deodato, but how many are going to be out there?
Right. So be careful with that, guys, because your store might order one or 2.
You know, because they don't know the cover. They don't. You know, sales are what they are. So you know.
Got to be careful with that stuff. But we tell you guys that all the time. So I'm going to expect a small print run on that book. Then I got 2 X-Men books. X-Men #1's coming out. It's going to have 77 different variant covers.
Only 77?
Who knows? Maybe we haven't even talked about store exclusives.
Oh, man, that's
who knows
the
how
one
many
that-
covers is going to come out for this book. So the print run on it is going to be huge because of that. But remember,
But dude-
every cover counts towards the print run.
And the cool thing is, people are coming in asking for these X books. And I got kids coming in.
That's great.
I got a new generation of consumers, which are like the 8-year-old to 14-year-olds, and the two things they ask for.
It's those gold balls, man.
Dude, X-Men and Carnage. Literally, that's what they want to read
And,
right
I
now.
mean, arguably, those are the two
two
best
best
Marvel books as well right now.
Yeah.
First one, Art Germ, Marvel Girl cover. Just a classic.
Art Germ,
Yeah.
Marvel Girl. I mean,
You know,
what was I gonna
exactly.
say? What?
It's a classic.
Okay.
Just a classic Jean Grey outfit as Marvel Girl.
Yeah, it's the Neil Adams era.
Right, exactly. Really cool looking stuff, and it's got the Art Germ treatment. So if you're an Art Germ fan, you have to pick this one up. And we don't know what's inside the book, so remember that as well. And then Mark Brooks also has Marvel Girl on the cover, popping out of like a cake or something.
But again, Mark Brooks,
it's
a
a Mark
cover.
Brooks cover.
Mark Brooks a cover.
Probably going to be the hottest book next week, you know. So pick what you like, because all of them are going to be good. And
it's going to be a good read.
And it's going to be a good read.
Patrick, read the book. Don't just bite the cover. Read it, damn it.
The most important part. But
Read.
that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for watching. Want to give another shout out to our friend Whitekanye the Great.
The Great.
Thanks for coming in and doing the review with us. Make sure to follow him on YouTube, follow him on Instagram, follow him wherever you can. And we'll see you next week. Kat, take us away.
Read. There's a lot of good books out there. Read some comics. Get somebody else hooked on it. Get out there, support your local comic book store, support print. See you guys in the comic book store.